שלב מגיע טנק מול הבית. הילדה לא הפסיקה לצרוח כל השעות האלה. היא לא הפסיקה לצרוח, ואז היא אמרה לי ביסמין שהיו את השני פגזים האלה, לא הפסיקה לצרוח. אז הייתה דממה.
The Israeli press has started to question the official narrative around the 7 October attack. While most Israeli journalists are clear that Palestinian militants were responsible for a large-scale attack on Israeli military bases and civilian homes in which non-combatants were certainly killed, there is growing evidence of friendly fire, meaning Israelis killed by the Israeli military. Take the article from Israeli broadsheet Haaretz from 18 November. It reveals details of an investigation into the killing of people fleeing from the Nova Music Festival on 7th October. According to a police source, an investigation into the incident also revealed that an IDF combat helicopter fired at the terrorists and apparently also hit some of the revelers who were there. This report is backed up by reportage that aired on Israel's channel 12 News. According to that report, pilots admitted not knowing who they were firing at.
הרבה מכוניות על כביש 232 עומדות, וחלקן עם דלתות פתוחות. אני מבין שהולכת להיות לי פה דילמה, מי זה כוחותינו, מי זה אויב, אם בכלל, ומי זה אזרחים.
So with this in mind, we look back at the footage of the cars of Nova festival goers, which were destroyed trying to escape Hamas's attack on the festival. Could Hamas weapons have carried out the kind of destruction seen on the 7 October attack? A CNN analysis of the weapons Hamas used described it as, and I quote, cheap, second-hand, makeshift arsenal. Many of the weapons appeared to be altered Russian or Chinese weapons, largely AK-47s. The level of destruction appears consistent with explosive munitions. Hamas are also known to have grenades and rockets, but given Haaretz's quotes, where it cites Israeli intelligence sources saying that the militant group did not have prior knowledge of the festival, would it have been possible to cause this amount of damage with homemade rockets, most of which are intercepted by the Iron Dome anyway? The level of damage appears consistent with the more advanced weapons like that of an Israeli Apache helicopter. In support of this theory, an Israeli army pilot speaking to Haaretz explained that the military deployed the Hannibal directive on October 7th. This allows the army to kill their own citizens to prevent them from being taken captive.
פה זה היה חניבל המוני. זה היה משימה בלתי אפשרית לזהות ולעשות מה שעשו. אנחנו לא יודעים אם נפגעו חטופים בשלב שהתחיל ירי של מסקרים וכטמ"מים על הגדר כשראו את המסות שנכנסות ויוצאות.
It seems the same directive was applied to hostages held at residential homes in the kibbutzim in southern Israel, which is exactly what a security guard at kibbutz Be'eri said, according to Haaretz, on October 20. The commanders in the field made difficult decisions, including shelling houses with occupants inside in order to eliminate the terrorists without knowing whether the Israelis in those buildings were alive or dead. Footage from that time shows heavily burnt and damaged homes. At the time, Israeli officials and the media, as can be seen in this clip from I-24, said it was Hamas that burnt the homes. And while this is still a possibility, the damage of some homes, like the huge crater in this wall, is consistent with shelling and explosive munitions. In addition, several survivors described how Israeli forces had, and I quote, undoubtedly killed their own civilians on October 7. Yasmin Porat told Israeli state broadcaster Khan that she was taken captive by gunmen after fleeing the Nova festival.
יש 5 בני ערובה ששוכבים או 6, והמחבלים...
הטרוריסטים ירו בהם?
לא, הם נהרגו מהחילופי ירי, תבין שהיה חילופי ירי מאוד מאוד קשים.
זאת אומרת, יכול להיות שזה כוחותינו ירו בהם? כשניסו לפסל את החוטפים, את החמאס? הם חיסלו את כולם, כולל בני ערובה. באיזשהו שלב מגיע טנק מול הבית. הילדה לא הפסיקה לצרוח כל השעות האלה. היא לא הפסיקה לצרוח, אז אמרתי, אני זוכרת שגם כשאני הייתי בשעה הראשונה, היא לא הפסיקה לצרוח. ואז היא אמרה לי ביסמין שהיו את השני פגזים האלה, לא הפסיקה לצרוח. אז הייתה דממה.
A pattern that seems to be emerging is that many of the claims made of beheaded babies, babies in ovens, and other extremely shocking and lewd claims made by the Israeli politicians and reported across the world have not been backed up by evidence. These claims made early on in the attack on Gaza were to green light maximum force and retaliation as far as Israel's allies were concerned. While in Gaza, it is clear that almost all civilian deaths have come from Israeli airstrikes, drones, and shelling. The situation on October 7 is less clear. What we need is an independent investigation to verify exactly what happened.